Isaac Asimov's Foundation series is one of the towering achievements of science fiction, a grand, sprawling vision that spans centuries and reshapes the fate of a galactic civilization. So, when Apple TV Plus announced they were adapting it, sci-fi fans around the world held their breath. How could anyone possibly adapt something that vast, that intellectual, that, well, unfilmable? Well, they did it, and they didn't. The TV show and the books share the same DNA, but they're very different creatures. Today, we are going to break down just how far the series strays from Asimov's original vision, and why those changes matter. From the core philosophy of psychohistory to the emotional arc of its characters, this isn't just a page-to-screen adaptation. It's a full-scale reimagining. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host Spoiler Master. Let's dive into the key differences, and a few similarities, between the Foundation novels and the Apple TV Plus series.
Kind of idiots are you? 1,000!
Psychohistory, math versus magic. Let's start with the cornerstone of Foundation, psychohistory. In the novels, psychohistory is this incredibly precise science, a combination of mathematics, statistics, sociology, and history. Harry Seldon, the genius behind it, uses it to predict the future of entire civilizations. But there's a catch: it only works on massive populations. It can't predict individual actions or anomalies. The whole premise rests on the idea that individuals don't really matter, only the masses do. But in the show, that's not how it works. In the Apple TV Plus adaptation, psychohistory feels less like a science and more like a mystical gift. Gaal Dornick isn't just a smart mathematician, she can literally feel the future. She's not one of many brilliant psychohistorians. She's the chosen one. It's a subtle but major shift. The science becomes esoteric, intuitive, borderline supernatural. So, instead of being a neutral observer of inevitable historical forces, the show's version of psychohistory becomes personal and emotional. It's less about predictive math and more about a small group of special people navigating fate. That's a huge thematic change from Asimov's original vision. Structure, anthology versus serialized drama. Next up, structure. The original Foundation trilogy reads like a historical anthology. You get time jumps of 30, 50, even 100 years between chapters. Characters come and go. Each story is like a snapshot of a pivotal moment, a Seldon crisis, in galactic history. The focus isn't on characters, it's on the arc of civilization. But if you tried to do that in a modern TV series, audiences would be completely lost. So the showrunners did something smart. They reinvented the structure to keep characters alive across centuries. That meant introducing a few clever sci-fi workarounds. We've got the Genetic Dynasty, a line of cloned emperors who age into and out of power. There's the digital ghost of Harry Seldon, whose consciousness lives on after death. Gaal and Salva are put into cryo-sleep to jump through time. And Damosel, an immortal robot, serves as the show's philosophical anchor across all timelines. These changes aren't in the books, but they serve a purpose: to give viewers familiar faces and emotional continuity. That comes at the cost of Asimov's sweeping, depersonalized storytelling. Instead of civilizations evolving, we see individuals struggling, and that's a fundamental shift.
We are Empire! History bends to...
The Empire, faceless decay versus genetic drama. In Asimov's books, the Galactic Empire is a decaying bureaucracy. The emperors are faceless, irrelevant. They represent stagnation, not character. But the show gives us the Cleonic dynasty, an empire ruled by three clones of the same man, Cleon I, Brother Day, Brother Dusk, and Brother Dawn, all played by the same actor at different stages of life. And it works. These clones are arrogant, fearful, sometimes ruthless, sometimes vulnerable. It's a brilliant invention. The Cleons give the show a tangible antagonist. You can't have drama without conflict, and these emperors provide exactly that. Plus, the whole idea of cloning, of trying to preserve perfection through endless repetition, becomes a metaphor for the Empire's fear of change. In one of the most compelling plotlines, rebels tamper with the Cleonic genome. Suddenly, the clones start showing emotional instability, creativity, and unpredictability. The idea of a perfect, unchanging empire starts to crumble, not from outside threats, but from within. This isn't just clever drama. It turns Asimov's abstract concept of imperial decay into something you can see, feel, and understand on a human level. Harry Seldon, the architect versus the martyr. Let's talk about the man behind the plan, Harry Seldon. In the novels, Seldon dies before the action really begins. His influence lives on through pre-recorded holograms that appear at key moments. He's a distant, almost godlike figure, revered, but not active. In the show, he's murdered, and not just murdered, martyred, by design. And then he comes back as a digital consciousness. Now he can interact, argue, manipulate, and even deceive. He's not just the architect of the plan, he's a player in the game. This change gives the story a lot more dramatic energy, but it also alters the purity of psychohistory. The plan no longer feels like a mathematical inevitability. It feels like Seldon is constantly tweaking it, reacting to events. That makes the story more personal, but it muddies the philosophical waters.
At us! We have no mothers, no aunts, no uncles.
Gaal Dornick and Salva Hardin. New heroes, new rules. Remember Gaal Dornick in the books? A one-note character, a stand-in for the reader. No backstory, no emotional depth. Now meet TV Gaal Dornick. She's a woman from a religious world that bans science. She's brilliant, intuitive, and emotionally torn. She's not just a witness to history, she is history. She's in love. She's grieving. She's seeing visions of the future. She's the heartbeat of the show. Then there's Salva Hardin. In the books, he's the first mayor of Terminus, a brilliant strategist who wins with diplomacy. Violence is the last refuge of the incompetent, remember? The show completely flips that. Salva is now a female warden, a fighter, and a protector. She's action-driven, emotionally intense, and, plot twist, she's Gaal's daughter. Yep, they made Salva and Gaal family. In the books, these two characters live a century apart. In the show, they're emotionally and biologically linked. That gives us drama, conflict, and stakes. But again, it's a total departure from Asimov's ideas about impersonal historical forces.
She tricked me because she had a foothold in your heart. And who created that foothold?
Damosel, secret puppet master or open power. Here's another fascinating transformation. Damosel. In the books, she's a mysterious advisor. Secretly, she's a robot, Daniel Olivor, an ancient being from Asimov's robot series, guiding humanity for thousands of years from behind the scenes. The show brings her front and center. She's the trusted advisor to the Cleons, and her robotic identity is known to them, though hidden from the rest of the galaxy. She's bound by programming, loyal to the Empire, but also deeply conflicted. And she's powerful. Her presence adds tension, mystery, and philosophical weight. What does it mean to serve rulers you know are flawed? When does loyalty become complicity? It's one of the best character additions in the series, and one that gives emotional weight to a concept that was purely intellectual in the books.
But you're not a god.
No. Gods are impervious to knives.
Visualizing the galaxy, from sparse prose to spectacle. Let's be honest, Asimov wasn't big on describing landscapes. His writing focused on ideas, not scenery. So when it came to visualizing Tranta, Terminus, and the galaxy at large, the show had to build everything from scratch. Tranta, the capital of the Empire, becomes a brutalist megastructure, a grey, imposing ecumenopolis stretching across an entire planet. It's cold, majestic, and oppressive. And then there's the Starbridge, a giant space elevator destroyed in a terrorist attack. That wasn't in the books, but it's a jaw-dropping moment that immediately tells you the Empire is vulnerable. Terminus, meanwhile, turns from a quiet scholarly outpost into a harsh, dangerous frontier world. It's filmed in Iceland and the Canary Islands, and the visuals are stunning. Survival feels real. The stakes feel high. And the vault? No longer a glorified hard drive. Now it's a floating black monolith that repels life and hides cosmic secrets. You look at it and feel like you're staring at the unknown. It's a perfect metaphor for the show's bigger themes: mystery, destiny, and the unknown future. Themes: the collective versus the chosen ones. All of this brings us to the biggest difference: thematic focus. Asimov's books are about impersonal forces. Psychohistory works because individuals don't matter. It's all about the masses, the trends, the the probabilities. Even the big disruptor, the mule, is terrifying precisely because he breaks the rules. He's the 1 in a quintillion anomaly. The show flips that on its head. Every major character in the series is the anomaly. Gaal has future sight. Salva has a special bond with the Vault. The Cleons are struggling with identity crises. Harry Seldon is still pulling strings from beyond the grave. The story becomes less about society and more about the exceptional few. It's not we're all just cogs in the machine, it's only the chosen can shape destiny. That's a powerful theme, but it's not Asimov's theme.
From this, perhaps even benefit from a slightly... Benefit! There we go.
Our nerdy thoughts. So, what do we make of all this? The Apple TV Plus Foundation series isn't a faithful adaptation of the books. It's a complete reworking, a reinvention, and that's okay. The novels are a product of the 1940s, cerebral, cold, and deeply philosophical. The show is a product of modern TV, emotional, character-driven, and visually spectacular. They're telling two very different kinds of stories. One about the inevitability of history, the other about defying fate. Both are valid. Both are worth experiencing. But if you go in expecting the books, you'll be surprised. And maybe that's the point. Because sometimes, the future of storytelling means letting go of the past.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.